Welcome to another edition of the ISB podcast. I'm your host, Sahil, here in the US, but Rahi and Bick have arrived at Germany for the Euros. Boys, you finally made it and you're there.
We are here. We are here getting ready to go to the big game tomorrow. Our home country. Just kidding. Bikram's home country, England, playing tomorrow against Denmark. That's why we're here. But we're not talking about that today. We have got some other games to talk about.
We're talking about the other home country of the place where you all are at. And, you know, I'm sure it's been a festive environment over there, but talk a little bit about this match and the reaction of the German fans and all that.
I think the German fans have re-fallen in love with this German team, especially after that opening day performance, the way they dismantled Scotland. I think you could see it. There was quite a bit of joy, quite a bit of excitement. Certainly, they're hesitant, but they're starting to re-love this team. And I think they were very good today, Vic, don't you think?
Yeah, I thought they played really well. Obviously, Musiala with a goal and Gundogan. Neuer was exceptional in goal.
Yeah.
I thought Hungary played well as well. And Germany did well to not concede against them. And I think Neuer had a big part to play in that. But look, I mean, Germany are looking good. They're looking better than they have for a while. This is the best team we've probably seen from them in a decade. So I think it gives their fans a lot of hope. You could see a lot of optimism from the fans in the street. We saw like England and Germany fans not colliding. In the past, they probably would have. But German fans more upbeat today. So it was nice.
Positive vibes, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Hesitant, but positive. I think you have to remember they played Scotland and Hungary, not two world beaters necessarily.
Yeah.
And in both matches, I think they've shown some weaknesses in the back. And we could talk about that, but Hungary had their chances.
Yeah.
At 1-0, Hungary had a couple of chances that could have turned the tide of this game. In the end, it goes Germany's way comfortably. But that weakness at the back that you alluded to, that's still present, I would say.
Yeah, I think Varga had a good opportunity that he just missed on the header. But overall, I thought it was fairly comfortable. I've been really disappointed by Hungary, actually, this whole tournament. I think they were the one team we thought coming in was going to do a lot, as one of the potential smaller teams as we call it, that could actually do a lot. And they've actually done the worst out of any of them.
Yeah, it's fair. I think it's especially the kind of performances they've had over the past year or so. I mean, in the Nations League against England, right? Those two impressive performances. You thought they would be one of those teams that maybe could be pushing into the dark horse sort of space, but they really haven't impressed at all. It's not just the fact that they haven't had good results. They really haven't performed that well.
Yeah. And that's what I think about this particular match. Also, I think it was fairly comfortable for Germany, a little bit iffy on that goal. I thought the first goal should have been a foul, called against the German.
Hungary disallowed goal, which was pretty clear, I thought.
Yeah, but I do think that Germany got a little bit of luck in that capacity. But overall, it was a very comfortable win. I think for Germany, it was never in question. Big, I don't think. So I think that's it. Germany's on to the next round, and everyone will be celebratory over there in Germany. Moving on. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about Germany before moving on? I really don't think that we've seen a team really give Germany a good fight though yet. So,
I mean, yeah, but again, they've only played Scotland and Hungary, right? So, we'll see. We'll see how they perform against the big boys. I think there's a lot of optimism, but that optimism can very quickly get crushed when you come across a France or an Italy or a Spain. Who knows?
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for getting these easy games in the beginning, because you really can grow into a tournament. Even if the opponents aren't great, you've developed this confidence that you just keep rolling then.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit of 2006, though.
Yeah, a lot. Shades.
Germany hosting the World Cup, starting really well, and then semi-finals, Italy scored those last-minute goals. So anything can happen, but I think it's obviously good signs for now.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next match, which, of course, Scotland needed to rebound from their performance against Germany. And, you guys call it easy matches, but if Germany got this Scotland team as opposed to the one that they got last Friday, it would have been a very, very different match, because today the Scottish came to play.
Yeah, that's what's so great for the Scots, is that they showed up in a big way. It's also what's disappointing for them about that opener, where they really didn't do the things that made them who they were in qualifiers. Compact, fighting for every ball, spirit all over the field. That's what they showed today, getting the early goal and then giving up the equalizer, but then still showing time and time again that they were dangerous when going forward. I mean, that off the post, that's 9 out of 10 times that's it. Scotland could have very easily taken the lead, but it was a very even game and Scotland gave as much as they took. And you have to say it's an impressive performance. And also because of what comes next for them, Hungary, it's a great point for the Scots.
Yeah, they came right off the bat, right, Bick, with Scott McTominay getting the goal. And I think that really set the tone for the match.
I mean, I think that was ultimately classified as an own goal, but I don't think they really care one way or the other. Look, I mean, Steve Clark said before the match, we came here for 4 points. That's what we said was enough to get us through. And I think that will be, despite the goal difference. I think they will be kicking themselves about conceding that many goals against Germany. But again, like, they've got a really good chance, a 1-0 win against Hungary. And that's, I think, most likely them through to the next stage, which they've never done before. So it's still a big deal, and they've still got all to play for. I thought they came out really well today.
Yeah, excluding, of course, the Ralston mistake, but then Rahi, of course, the man on the end of that that pass by Ralston, couldn't have been gone to a worse picked player for the from a Scottish perspective, right? Going to Shaqiri.
That's an MLS finish right there. That's the level. No, Shaqiri, I mean, what a finish. What a finish. I've always loved Shaqiri. He's now in the U.S., but his finishing ability hasn't left him.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal. And of course, the Swiss had 2 goals disallowed. You know, Switzerland, I think, you know, they'll give Germany the toughest fight, I think, so far, just given, you know, the nature of how the 2 teams line up in terms of the formations and structures and everything. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, and Neuer's a handful, really impressive throughout tonight. He's going to give the Germans trouble.
And I think it also helps the Swiss that, like, you know, Germany already through to the next round. I don't expect Germany to take their foot off the gas, but I think as much as people try, like, there is a natural tendency to do so when you've already qualified for the next stage. So who knows? They might pull away with a draw against Germany, and that'll be a great result for them. They'll finish second in the group if that's the case.
All right, so let's get to the last match of the day, which is actually the first match of the day, but we saved it for last because of how good it was. And that, of course, was the Croatia-Albania match, and they produced an absolutely epic game. Right, boys?
Incredible game. I'm obviously wearing the Croatia shirt. I'm a Croatia supporter for the past 20 years. But I have to say this was an incredible game. It's not the result that Croatia wanted, particularly because they finished with Italy. It's a tough position now, bottom of the group with a poor goal difference. But it was a great game. And you have to say that Albania deserved a draw from this game. And the Croatians took too long to wake up. And when they did, they were good. Dalic making the right subs to kind of turn things around. But a really disappointing first half performance for Croatia. Pasalic came in, Budimir came in. There was a difference then. But in the end, when you play a first half as badly as the Croatians did, I don't think you deserve to come out with the win.
Yeah. I mean, my issue, Bick, is that Croatia obviously is a fantastic team. We've seen that they've played like this for many years. Excellent technical ability, will boss the midfield. But what is going on with the defense in this tournament? It almost seems like every single match, it's like give up a soft goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great team, but it's a team on its last legs in a lot of cases with some of the players. So I think that is showing it's a team on the wane to an extent. You know,
yeah, but the defense is young. The defense is young, right, Rose?
Yeah, but I mean, like it sort of still stems from the midfield, I guess, to an extent. I think there's only so much defenders can do if the midfielder is not supporting them to the same extent.
You know, I think honestly, it's the lack of experience in games like this. You saw in the last few minutes, they sat back when they didn't really need to. And Dalic said the same thing, the Croatia coach, at the end of the game, that I don't know why they sat back. We were kind of asking them to score the third goal, not to defend the lead. And sometimes that happens when you have younger players and you have players that haven't experienced the game at this level. And, you know, there's no Lovren, there's no Chorluka. That can change. And I think that they didn't manage the end of the game well, and they were the better team for the second half. but they went into a shell when they didn't need to, and then you're always open to a last-minute equalizer.
Sounds a bit like England, actually.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So now Croatia needs to go into the last match against Italy, and they'll need a victory. Rahi, how confident do you feel about that?
Oh, very confident, actually. The history that Croatia has with Italy, I think this sets up nicely. I'm not coming in overconfident, but I do think that Croatia might spring a surprise. I know I keep saying that, but this is the perfect time to do it. And hey, by the way, we have to give Croatia credit. They're always involved in entertaining games. And that's what I love about watching this team. Another wonderful game to watch today.
All right. Well, I'll let you all go. Stay tuned though. We'll have an Albanian perspective from our Albanian friend right now. So we want to finish the show with that. But I'll let the two German boys go, and also because I think if the German national football team might be rocking and rolling, but whatever internet is over there in your German hotel, I think you need to fix that up a little bit. But
yeah, if only the internet in Germany were as good as the midfield.
Yeah, that's the way it is. All right, boys. I know you guys are excited to go tomorrow. Where will you be at? England, Denmark, right?
Yeah, big match, rematch of the semi-final last time. So should be a cracking fixture, I think.
All right, exciting stuff. I'll let you boys go. On to Albania now, and we're turning it over to our Albanian Mick Barty. Now bringing in our Albanian friend Barty again. Barty, this must have been a crazy amount of emotions for you today's match. So let's start there. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it was a real roller coaster. I mean, started off really well. Like the game started off pretty strong. Albania was showing much better than last time against Italy, and then with the goal, I mean, that was amazing. And the way they played after the goal was really encouraging compared again to the previous game. But then, yeah, man, the 75th minute or so, 2 goals in 2 minutes. That was awful. Like they just made 2. I mean, Croatia played well in those cases, but I also felt like the defense just kind of slipped up both times. And at that point, it sort of looked like anything could happen. Croatia could keep on scoring. But then, thankfully, they got it back together. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the game, I was sort of like not sure what was going to happen. Somehow they managed to score and almost scored again, which would have been spectacular. But yeah, I mean, I went from like excited, super happy about how the game was going, to really depressed, and then kind of confused at the end, honestly. I mean, I was happy for the tie, but I also felt like they had a few chances before, especially right before Croatia's equalizing goal, where Seferi just took a shot when he could have passed to Mane or passed to someone else. And, like it went from feeling like we could have a second one to 2 down. That was hard to swallow.
What a turnaround for Gasula, huh? Like going from the own goal and then finishing it off right at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw he's apparently the first player in the history of the Euros to do that, to score on both ends in one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for the guy. He just came in. He got unlucky with the own goal. I don't think it was his fault, really, just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But then he was at the right place for the goal, and he took it really well. I mean, he became sort of the hero at the end.
So where do you think what happened? Where do you think, because the start was fantastic and then they played very, very well in the first half. What do you think happened in that small little span of time in the second half right there?
I think the players got tired. Honestly, I think some of the changes, like bringing in Hoxha, that came in a little too late. And I know it had happened by that point, but I think it came in a little too late because the players were just getting tired and their focus seemed to be waning. I liked their attitude. The approach to the game was much more positive than against Italy. Like there was more aggression, which I think completely lacked in the previous game. But they just got tired, and Croatia brought up their game. I mean, let's give it to them. Like they were not themselves in the first half. They made some changes. They got them right, and Modric stepped up his game. Pasalic played pretty well, and I mean, Maric played really well.
That's what Rahi just said. He said he thinks the subs made a difference for Croatia. I think both Budimir and Pasalic actually had good matches. But then talk about the resilience at the end to get that goal, because that was big. That was big, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that we've seen Albania do more in the last couple of years. Albania before this used to sort of give up at the end, and this is exactly the opposite, which was amazing. And honestly, in the previous game too, they had one chance at the end. It's just this time they actually like kept trying and having multiple chances. They created those chances. It wasn't just out of the blue this time around. So it was really good to see. I mean, I remember growing up in the 90s seeing a lot of games of Albania against Germany getting scored on at the end. In the last 10-15 minutes, this is exactly the opposite. They just kept on trying, and you could see that they believed they could bring this back, which was a really good feeling.
Yeah. So finally, okay, so what is the approach to the Spain game? It could be a Spain B team. It could be, you know, if Spain get through, maybe they play some players. Regardless of it, what do you think Albania, how is Albania going to approach this match?
I think so. I was looking at interviews with the coach, Silvino, after the game. He said, let's see what happens, how Spain plays tomorrow against Italy. And based on that, we'll know more. So I think that's wise. Let's see, like, A, how Spain does and whether they will need to bring in their A team or not. And B, what their actual level is. I mean, in the first game against Croatia, we saw one version of Spain. It was hard to tell how much of that was Spain doing really well versus Croatia being asleep a couple of times. I think even a B Spain team, though, on paper, is very strong. So I hope Albania goes in with the mindset of having some fun, playing a good game, and just trying to do their best and see where it goes. I don't think you can go in against Spain, based on what we've seen so far. I don't think you can go in against Spain with the expectation to win. But, you know, there's a slim chance of winning, and there's some chance of tying. So hopefully they're going to have fun, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, there's always hope, man. Don't give up hope. You got the goal at the end of this match, and you know, so
yeah, absolutely, yeah, you're right. So hopefully they have that attitude.
Yeah, so I think there's always an opportunity. Well, for those of you out there who have enjoyed this Euro coverage, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Bardi, you have to say it today. You have to say whatever you want to the Albanian team. I'll leave it to you. So
yeah, I mean, go get it. Go have some fun, and don't be shy. Like, have the aggression like they've shown in this game. Just keep playing that way, and something good will happen. At the very least, make us proud.
Yeah, Forza. What is it? Forza Chypria?
Forza
Is that right?
Chypria. Yeah,
Forza Chypria.